It's the key insights into the Indian retail sector. Now, these insights are coming from JLL. May I invite the presenter on the stage? We have with us the Executive Director and the Head of Research and REIS for India and Sri Lanka, JLL. Ladies and gentlemen, could we have a huge round of applause for Dr. Samantak Das?
A very good afternoon to the entire esteemed audience. I think this is a fabulous place, and I think Anuj has mentioned about this MAPIC, how it has organized this event after a couple of years. And a big congratulations to the organizers for making this event happen and at this scale. Well, before I highlight the trends of Indian retail segment of India, I would like to mention some of the pointers that we have covered in our report, which is Innovate, Differentiate, Accelerate India's Retail Sector in 2022 and Beyond, which will be launched just after my talk. And let me tell you, there is no presentation. So I will just give a brief of the trends that we have captured in this report. So the scope of the report is something like this. We have discussed about the evolution of retail sector post-pandemic. The panel also discussed about it. Stock and supply dynamics of grade A malls in the top 7 cities in India. Then we have also discussed an interesting topic in the report, which is called the strategy, the partnership strategy among all the stakeholders to really take retail segment to a sustainable growth trajectory. Innovation, restructuring, and re-tenanting by existing malls to remain relevant by upgrading F&B, by bringing in global brands and global anchors. Then we have discussed on retail, which is in mixed use and modernization of office developments. And last but not the least, I will just touch upon how the institutional investment has taken growth in the last couple of quarters. So the pandemic impacted India's retail growth in the last 2 years. And the impact has reduced with restrictions eased and lockdowns taken up. And because of the pandemic, we saw tepid leasing demand. However, what we see, resurgence in consumer demand, it is showing a strong comeback, and we have observed that across the cities, and we have covered basically the top 7 cities. We have not touched upon the tier 2, tier 3 cities, which the esteemed panelists, they said that there is a huge upside potential. Yes, there is, but this report doesn't cover that. So what we have seen is there is a strong comeback with footfall and sales matching pre-pandemic levels. We agree with the panelists very much, yes. So what I will highlight is 6 to 7 trends going forward in the next couple of minutes. The first 2 trends will be more statistics driven, relating to our brick and mortar malls and shopping centers. So the first trend, let me start by saying, leasing activity has regained momentum from March of this year, so to say. Really, it has regained the momentum as shoppers return to stores following the easing of COVID restrictions. Retailers have started expanding their footprint, and there has been an increase in demand for quality retail space. By the way, in the report, we have also analyzed certain parameters in terms of superior malls, average malls, and good malls. So that is in detail, but I'm conscious of time. I'll not go deep into those parameters. What we have seen is the first half of 2022, net absorption was around 0.8 million square feet, and our projection for this year would be around 3 million square feet. So the first 6 months we have seen a tad below 1 million square feet of transaction of grade A office stock in the top 7 cities. And this year, we will complete with 3 million square feet of net absorption. Next year, our projection is 6 million square feet, which is touching the pre-pandemic level of leasing. Next, on the current stock and supply. So that's also quite important, and it is very pertinent to understand this situation in terms of stock and supply, so that all the stakeholders can take a position. The stock A grade A malls, the stock of grade A malls in the top 7 cities, today as we speak is 90.6 million square feet. And more than 50%, slightly more than 50% is in Delhi, which is around 29 million square feet, followed by Mumbai, 19 million square feet. Mall supply in the last 6 months, the first half of 2022, we have seen 1.3 million square feet recorded during this period, the supply, with additions in Pune, Bengaluru, Mumbai, and Hyderabad. Now, one thing is very important. What is the outlook about supply? So what we have observed and we have researched is 70 malls coming up in the top 7 cities, encompassing a total retail space of over 31 million square feet. And this will be operational in the next 36 months. So next 3 years. So till 25-26. And what is very interesting is, in the upcoming supply, we see Delhi and Chennai, their major contributions, around 48% of the supply, with Bengaluru and Hyderabad, 15% each. So Chennai has come up, we will see Chennai, the stock going up because of the supplies till 2026. Of course, these are the story about top 7 cities. Apart from this supply, we have seen a considerable under construction projects in shopping malls, grade A shopping malls, in tier 2 and tier 3 cities as well. Now, these are the 2 trends that I've talked about on statistics. Now, coming to the softer trends, which are also very important to understand. So, first is innovation, restructuring, and re-tenanting for relevance by existing malls. So what we have seen is, to cater to the evolving needs of the customers, and the needs are evolving very fast. Various mall developments in India are upgrading themselves to offer a holistic brand mix and superior infrastructure to shoppers, because customer is king. Mall developers, we have observed, and this is quite nicely elaborated. Mall developers in the report, mall developers are revamping their shopping malls to stay relevant with respect to competition. The next trend that we have captured is, there's a shift towards upgrading food brands and variety. So over the last few years, the amount of space dedicated to F&B category has increased in quite a few number of malls. And the developments are quite a part of the strategy to enhance the overall appeal of the malls. The F&B space allocation previously, before the pandemic, was around 12 to 15% of the total mall on an average in the top 7 cities, grade A. Now it has moved up to 20 to 25, in some cases 30%. So this strategic alignment of F&B across shopping malls, including on lower floors, this is a new trend, relatively a new trend that we have seen. This is, of course, in addition to presence of food courts and restaurants on higher floors. Shopping malls are ensuring that F&B offerings are meeting customer needs, and they are incorporating various cuisines, formats, and a balanced mix of local, national, and global food chains. The next softer trend that we have observed is addition of international brands and fashion anchors. So global brands, including popular F&B chains, are entering India, of course, looking at India's strong fundamentals and we have discussed about economy and also the consumer base, the consumption. It's really, really increasing at a very, very rapid pace. Indian shopping malls are also churning their brand mix to accommodate global marquee brands. Moreover, fast fashion brands are also incorporated in malls, and we see these are in addition to department stores in prime spaces to cater to the evolving tastes and preferences of consumers. The next trend, retail in mixed use and office developments. This is nothing very new, but we have seen a real growth in this in the recent past. The retail component in some mixed-use developments is not only limited to amenities catering to building occupants, but it also incorporates broader retail offerings, such as department stores, fast fashion anchors, accessories, and other categories of products, which basically is catering to a much wider customer base. And it's not only for for the building occupants. Amenity retail is becoming a key differentiator now, and as it acts as a larger neighborhood or community place for holding events, talk shows. I think Gurgaon is a great example in that. Product launches, and it's not just for office goers. It's from primary and secondary catchment areas also. They are attracting people. On this, we have also done a good number of case studies, which is there in the report. Once we release this report, I'm sure it will be available to everybody. Now, last but not the least is institutional investment in retail, the funding. So institutional investment in the retail sector has been picking up, and we have seen USD 862 million recorded in the last 18 months, ending June 2022. So from 2021 and 2022 till June, we have seen 862 million USD million to be invested. This is excluding the portfolio deals. In 2020, retail sector, as you know, was most impacted. And in 2021, we observed the return of investment in this sector in 2021 itself. And we saw USD 560 million in that year. And in the first 6 months of 2022, investment has already reached 60% of 2021 total investment. So that shows that investors are also increasingly getting interested, not only on existing good malls or brownfield, even in the greenfield projects. Now, in the report, there are many other trends mentioned as I was talking about all these trends. I've just summarized, and I'm conscious of the time. I think vacancy polarization in favor of superior mall. That's also one trend that we have observed, and it's quite glaring. That's why we see a lot of investors and mall owners, they are upgrading their malls. There is a paradigm shift in omni-channel retailing. So that's also has been covered in the report. And trends in rents and rent agreement. So these are the things, I think are all there in the report, other than what I just touched upon. So if you have any query, please feel free to connect with us. We are here. The JLL team is here for the next, today and tomorrow. And I would also be very happy to connect with you. And thanks for giving a patient hearing. Thank you so much. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Dr. Das. We'd request you to come to the center of the stage. I'll quickly go ahead and also invite the dignitaries onto the stage to join Dr. Das. This is the time for the JLL report launch. Could we have Mr. Rajneesh Mahajan, the CEO of Inorbit Malls, Raghu Rajagopalan, President for Group Business Development Landmark Group, Mr. Rahul Arora, Head of Retail Services and Office Leasing Advisory, India and Regional Managing Director for Karnataka and Kerala, JLL. May I also invite Mr. Shashank Thakur, the Head for South India and Emerging Markets for Retail Services for JLL, Mansi Anand, Director of Marketing India, JLL, and Ashna Gemini Sharan onto the stage quickly, please. It's now time for the JLL report launch. Let's have all the dignitaries on the stage to unveil the report that Dr. Das was just talking about. And could we have a huge round of applause, ladies and gentlemen? the insights that Dr. Das was just talking about. And that is in the JLL report. So it's being launched right here, right now at MAPIC India 2022. All right. Thank you. Thank you so much once again to all the dignitaries on the stage. Thank you.